generation.
All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to No Fake Shit, No Fakies. I'm your host, Marin Jackson, aka Gusto. I explained to y'all last week where I got my name Gusto from. This week, since we're coming to the end of Women's Month, and they was talking about how the heroes of women, right? And there's two women in my life that are my heroes, and I miss them very much. And that's my mother, Pamela Cooney, and Mary Cooney. These two women here impacted my life. Well, my grandmother, Mary Cooney. Sorry about that. They impacted my life in so many ways, man. My mother, like I told y'all in the stories that I gave about um, in my intro, my mother was a very hard worker until she had a tragic fall that took her from grace. Because that's another thing a lot of people don't understand in this world. It's like we're coming to an understanding of like 1 minute you can be on the high and the next you could just fall. Like you can have everything in the world. My mother had everything. Like I tell stories to people like my mother used to just walk around with like $1,800 in her purse like it wasn't nothing. Like she would just go and like she felt like it. I want to go and buy a car. If I feel like I just want to buy a car. Like one time we was out there on, I think that was West Florissant. We rode past a car dealership and was two matching um, Novas. I think that was like 1978 or 77 Novas. And and she was like, let's stop. So the boyfriend stopped the car. So she wanted to go look at him. And I will never forget, my mother just said, well, she looked at him, she drove him, and she said, look, I want both of them. And her boyfriend said, well, how's we supposed to get back? Because we got a car here. You just got two more cars. She was like, don't worry about it. We going to get them there. And my mother made sure both of them cars got there. My mother kept in her driveway at least like 10 cars. But when she fell, all that went away. We had one of the biggest houses there was on Stratman. And my mother, she made sure that we had everything that we needed and more. And like I say, when she fell from her grace, a lot of people didn't like. They just act like they just forgot what impact my mother had. And even in my mother drug state, because my mother got addicted to crack cocaine. And yes, I'm one of those that came up in that era of crack cocaine that literally destroyed. That's one of the worst drugs they could have put out here on these streets because it destroyed a lot of families, and I seen it because my house, well, my grandmother's house, became the crack den. That's where everybody came and got their crack. Everybody came and smoked their crack because my grandmama philosophy was this. She said, I'd rather for her to do it in my house than be out in the streets and do it and end up dead somewhere. Okay? And I even got a story of the first time I never seen my grandmama honestly cry in front of my face, but I heard her over the phone. And I'll never forget the phone call that I got and I received from my grandmother. And my mother, she became a prostitute. And instead of a trick want to pay her, he wanted to rape my mother instead, and my mother jumped from a moving van to escape him. And her and my grandmama just cry on the phone. It was like devastating. Don't get me wrong, me and my mother, we had our issues. And before she passed, me and her worked through our issues. But I didn't know how much time we got, but we worked through our issues. And like I say, I got good memories. My mama, even I'll never forget. even like I say, my mother, my mother, she was straight up a superhero to me because my mother would come before she got in her drug estate. She would come through for the family. Even like I used to love it because I always, like I say, I tell so many stories of my mother, but my mother, I will never forget that she used to take the kids in the neighborhood, all the kids, take them to the show because she had this Dodge van, green. So everybody knew when Pam pulled up, you know what time it is. My cousins' friends, everybody that knew my cousins or anybody that didn't know, she'd come up and be like, look, y'all kids want to go to the show. She'd go around to the families of all these kids and ask them, can I take them to the show with me? And the parents would be like, I ain't got no money. My mother would be like, I ain't asked you, did you have money? I'm asking, can they go? That's all I'm asking you. They was like, yeah, Pam, you go ahead. And my mother and the girls used to love me because of my mother. My mother, like one of my cousins, it was a situation that happened with her. I don't know how, but anyway it go, somebody broke in her house, raped her or whatever. And my mother came over her house, looked around, said, look, pack up your stuff. You're moving today. We're going to get you another apartment right now. Pack it up. And my mother did that. And my mother, right along my grandmother, they gave me my work ethic because my mother, she didn't play. My mother had, like I say, my mother, she had that money. And they taught me how to just not only that, but invest my money. But sometimes, like I say, you forget things, but it start to become a reminder as I look back at my life, because my mother, I don't remember ever seeing my mother cook anything. I'm not trying to be funny. Sorry, Mama, I love you, because she's on my. Show you my mother here. This is my mother. I keep her with me all the time, and I get into that, which I did get into my intro. But yeah, my mother, I don't remember her ever cooking. I don't remember it. I'm not trying to be funny, but I don't remember it. Um, like I say, my mother was another funny memory when my mother was in her drug estate, and I started running the streets a little bit, and I'll never forget. She used to bust into my room because I used to I love old music like Al Green, Marvin Gaye, The Temptations. I love that old music, that 70s, early 80s. I love that music. New Edition. Man, I love that old. But anyway, when I was playing some Al Green one day, and my mother came in, and she just started doing, I guess they call it the mashed potato, and my mother could dance. Do you listen? I'm laughing because I'm not gonna lie, I was influenced by weed. I'm laughing at my mother because she's really getting down to it, like she's moving and grooving, and I'm just having a ball laughing at my mother, man. I look back at those memories, and even if like I say, when she got in her drug estate, and a lot of people forgot. Everybody just mentioned about the drugs of my mother, and nobody don't forget. Everybody forgets how kind-hearted my mother was, how loyal my mama was. People forget that my mother was still looking out, even in her drug estate. She was still looking out for her family. And don't get me wrong, she did some scandalous stuff. But when you needed my mother, she'll be there on time. And speed up a little bit. I came home and I got into a search of trying to look for my mother. And as I'm looking and I'm trying to go here, and I called on a few favors, and my mother was gone. She was no longer with us. And I had to be the one. They didn't have her body no more because ain't nobody claimed her. So I had to go get her. And that was the most hurtfulest thing ever. I never knew how much I loved this woman until she was no longer here with us. I did not know how much I loved this woman until she was no longer here. I thought I had enough time in my mind, but I know honestly, and I used to pray, God just let me get a chance to just sit down and wrong my rights with my mother. Because I told you, me and my mother, I don't want to be, we keep it real here. Me and my mother used to fight. Like dudes on the streets, like literally. My mama done choked me out before to a point to where it's like, I would have been no longer existing. That's how bad me and my mother. I'll never forget her and my grandmama jumped me because we having a family meeting and I said something against my mother and my mother swung, my grandmama swung. I'm getting jumped by two old ladies at the same time. Yeah, it was. And so I say I wish I had a chance to right my wrongs because I wanted to do something to make them proud of me. But I just couldn't. I ain't gonna say I couldn't get it right. I was, involved in the streets and trying to live a lifestyle that wasn't me. And then when you're suffering from, and it's a lot of people in this world that gets me into. There's a lot of people in this world that suffer from mental health issues. That's another show that I'm gonna talk about because there's a lot of people that does suffer from mental health issues and don't even know it. And yeah, I just now my grandmama, like I said, my mother ended up losing her house. My brother Brian, if I remember, my brother Mark. I don't know where they went to, but eventually we all moved into my grandmama's house. I used to go to my grandmama's house all the time. I used to love being around my grandmama. Because my grandmama gave me anything I wanted. She spoiled me to death. Do you hear me? Whatever Myron wanted, Myron got. Anything I can name it, she's going to do it for me. She's going to get it done. My grandmama didn't play no games. And my grandmother was the sweet old lady, but she'll cuss you out in a heartbeat and then want to cook you something to eat. My grandmama was that one woman you can come to, like my mother. Anything you ask of her, she was loyal. And my grandmama used to pack a pistol, so she was street through and through. As they say, my grandmama was straight gangster for real. She didn't play no games. And I'm sorry if I'm pausing a little bit because I'm getting a little emotional because I got into a funk of thinking like, what am I going to do without these? What am I going to do? What am I going to do without them two? As Uncle Cedric. Because I can always rely on my grandmama to come through and fix any problem that I have. Anything that I'm going through, I can depend on her. She comes through every time. And like I say, me and my grandmama, I used to love being around my grandmother. And like I say, she was the one that talks about me and my brothers. Well, one of them didn't listen. Mark, boy, R.I.P. He didn't listen too much. I didn't listen too much, but I paid attention. My grandma used to keep bonds and all this. But I don't know what happened. But once me and my mother and my brother moved in with her, my grandma was still that sweet old lady. But like I say, she'll cuss you out in a heartbeat. I didn't see my grandmama, not to bring up an old, whoop girls half their age like it wasn't nothing. And it was like I told y'all in that intro, like it was man. This woman here, I remember the times, it's good times too. I remember we used to sit back and play cards, and I remember the time I tried to cheat her. We was playing spades, two-handed spades, and I'm cheating like a mother. She said, "Oh, you want to cheat, huh? I got something for you." And she still whooped my butt. We was playing for pennies, and she still whooped my butt. I just couldn't never get. My grandma was cold, and that's another thing about my grandma. Oh my God, do not. Everybody knows in the world, do not challenge her to playing spades, even if she's got a partner or by herself. My grandma was cold. Listen, my grandmama was cold. I remember one time when she was working down here at Truman Hospital, and they had a little picnic and stuff like that where you can win stuff, and they had spades, and that's so my grandma was like, okay. She won me a ticket to a baseball game when it was at Bush Stadium. I went down to Bush Stadium thanks to my grandmama. That was my first game, and my grandmama won me. She won the ticket for me. I'm talking about my grandmama whooped. My grandma was no joke with spades. Like, you don't want to challenge this woman. And like I say, man, and yes, I can't forget. She used to make the fire. It's like most like what it's fruit gelatin we call it, because she put the fruit cocktail in the Jello. This is my favorite by her. And listen, sweet potato pie. She threw down on. She threw down on it. Anything my grandmama could cook, and I think my brother took that after her because that woman can cook. I'm talking about throw down on some cooking that'll make you say, "What?" This woman can throw down. I loved her sweet potato pies. I always kept me one for myself because I love them sweet potato pies my grandma used to make. And it's still heartbreaking that she's gone. I couldn't even, when I got the news that she was gone, I couldn't even cry. And I'll never forget, I looked in the mirror, and it's like she gave me a hug. She said, "It's going to be all right. You okay?" And I said that in the song, how spirits behind us. Sometimes it's in a bad way, but sometimes it's in a good way to help us stay on track, because I know I got two angels by my side that guides me through this hectic time. And it's been guiding me through. I know that people have to pass, and that's why I keep trying to tell my family, everybody, man, we got to get rid of all this pettiness that we have in families. We got to let that go, because as we seeing, man, you never know. Just like a cousin of mine, India Price, she passed away suddenly. That's why I say, man, petty arguments, little stuff, let that stuff go. Let it go. Because you'll be living with regret. Yeah, me and India, we never spit that. Like, she invited me. I'll never forget. She invited me when I came home from the penitentiary. I went to a shower. Then my official party of being home, she invited me to a 90s party. I showed up looking like Tupac. Yeah, I had the rag on my head. Yeah, I had the old school Chuck Taylors on, some Dickie shorts on with a t-shirt. And it's the first time, and I apologize to my family because sometimes my fiance tell me all the time, like, why do you keep a mean mug on your face? And sometimes I don't even know I do. And not even just that, I'm up in the party, and I'm mean mugging and not even noticing that. Plus I had a headache. I apologize to my family about my facial expressions. Listen, I just coming home, getting back adjusted. And I do not like, let me explain this to you, I do not like crowds. the penitentiary broke me of being in crowds. Like I got anxiety of being in. I do not like being in crowded spaces. I do not. Cause a friend of mine named Woody, his cousin Tamika, it was her birthday. He invited me out. I went to the club. And as I'm in the club, we was cool, chilling, standing back on the wall. You know how we do. And then all of a sudden, it's just like everybody just rushed. And then I'm like, I can't do this. I gotta go. Plus, I was, I can't do this. I do not like crowds at all. I do not. That's why I don't like going to clubs. I don't like too much going out because it just takes me back, to where I came from, because crowds represent there's something's going to kick off. And you do not want to be in a crowd when something kicks off, because you might accidentally get stole on or stabbed. So you never know what may come. So I'm like, I do not like being in crowds, because I done seen too many that just things just break out, like full scale. Like it's whew. I'm getting off track a little bit, but rest in peace, India. You're gone, but you're never forgotten. We will never forget you. We will always love you. I wish I had more time to spend with her since I came home, but I didn't, because I got involved in the streets, and not involved in the streets like moving or nothing like that. I'm just moving and grooving, and I never did, and she would be missed. She would be missed. And I thank them again for inviting me to that party. That was my first party home, man. That was so funny. Because I was looking like, if you see the pictures of it, you'll be laughing too, because it was funny. I wasn't on nothing. It's just me coming around. I do not like crowds. I have to keep that mug on, like, do not come over and messing with me, because, hey, look, I don't want to get caught up in nothing, because it's weird. And as I'm speaking about that, I had the privilege of being there. I call her my home girl. I don't know, make some people mad, but like I call her my stepdaughter, because I love this girl so much. And they didn't actually invite me, but I just came. As soon as I got the call from her mother, I just took off. Whoop, I'm going to the hospital. Where you at? I'm coming. Where are you at? I'm coming. And I showed up, and I just never forget that smile. She, hey, she's so drugged up. Hey, Myron. I'm like, hey, what's up? Hey, I had the privilege of seeing her give birth. Welcome to the world, True. And that's a memory I will always share and keep in my mind, always. Because, man, I know y'all women, y'all go through some things doing birth, man, and I praise you. I give you praises, I give you props, because, listen, we wasn't in the room when she was giving birth. We was, like, behind this curtain, but you can hear what was going on, because the simple fact is you heard the women in the room, and, oh, my God. Here comes the head. Oh, my God. I'm like, oh, my goodness, what the heck? Okay. And I'm just glad I was part of that, man, because I never been a part of nothing like that in my life. And I thank her mother. She didn't invite me, but she called me and just let me know, and I thank her for it, because I came there and I was a part of it, and I'm thankful that I was. And just like I say, we gotta let this go, man. Because you have somebody there that she did not. I apologize to her that she did not like really deal with, but she forgave me. I know she kind of still mad at me, but hey, I apologize. I tried to mend fences, and I didn't ever think, honestly, my life would be this way, man. I thought I'd come home and I see my mother, dreams of the dreams that I want to see come to fruition. It took time. It took some time. And I just want to address and say, not on the religious stuff, but I'm just being honest. I think y'all wearing y'all shoe. Because I wouldn't be where I am without these two. And without the women that impacted my life, my mother and my grandmother. These are some strong, these are some strong black women that honestly raised me. I'm not gonna sit up here and say like I say, I'm a hard-headed character. I know I took them through hell and back, but they always looked out for me, and they set the standards for women. I'm sorry, women, but fiance, but it set the standards up to above my head. Like my grandmama, she was that woman that, man, honestly, I could pick up the phone. Any problem that I'm having in this world, don't worry about it, baby. It's gonna be okay. I got you. And even me getting caught up in the situation I was in, she said, baby, if you was feeling like you did not want to be in them streets no more, because I came to a realization about the streets. What are we doing this for? What is this all for? Where are we headed? And I wanted basically out. I wanted out. I love my homeboys and all that, but I wanted out. Because it's only two choices. Homeboys is dying, homeboys is going to prison, and they, like I said, I spoke on truth and sentencing. Homeboys is going away. That we ain't gonna get into. They was giving 16-year-olds life. 16 years old. A child. Don't get me wrong. Some kids are menaces. But do they deserve to do that? Do they deserve that? That's a per se. Do they deserve that? In my opinion, they don't. Because sometimes people don't understand the impact of the things that they did until it's like, dang, I did that. Like, yeah. And these are the casualties of these wars. Like I say, what was it all for? Okay, we take over this. Okay, we get into it with these dudes, take over their blocks, so they did something to us, we do something to them. Okay, what's the end game here? Where are we striving for? Because eventually, somebody's going to end up dead in the cliques. Somebody's going to end up going to prison. A lot of people went to prison in mine. And a lot of dudes didn't die. So what is the end game? What are we trying to accomplish? Where are we going? And that's what you youngsters should ask yourself. What is the end game? What am I trying to honestly gain, and where am I going? And that takes me into this. My two, like I say, my grandma and my mother. Like my father. Because he couldn't deal with my mother. You know. So he ran and left his kids. This is my thing. How you love your kids and you run from your kids, and not even that. You love your kids and you don't want to change your lifestyle for your kids. The way you're living. Being in the streets, selling dope. Because like I said, there's only two choices. You're going to die or you're going to go to prison. And most people will say, man, why I'm doing this for my kids? Because I got this only way I can do things. Okay, you're making probably $20,000 or $30,000 a day, and you ain't taking this money or trying to find somebody where I can invest this money and make this 11 playing field so I won't have to be out here no more. And sometimes people get addicted to them streets, because I'm gonna tell you, them streets are addictive. Because like I told you, man, it's so fun, man, drinking, kicking with your partners every day, kicking the bobos, and then we gonna talk about the women's, because if you riding with the homie, you got the flashy car, or you riding your car and you got hey, the women coming, everybody, should I say mugs, everybody loves you. Because Ludacris said it. Ludacris said in the song, he say, people respect the cheddar. They respect the money. No. They don't respect what you honestly did, because honestly there's somebody big, badder, and tougher than you, because somebody gonna eventually, because they done took out so many, that tells you right there, when it comes to your time, you can't stop it. So what are we doing this for? Are we trying to embetter our families? Because I feel like this in my heart. When my grandmama died, I felt like I was straight up a burden. I felt like I was a straight burden to her and my mother, because my mother took over, made sure I had money on my books, and I ain't gonna lie, I ran that into the ground like a deuce in a quarter. I ran in the ground, and it's like, wow. I was a straight. It's like when I look at it, I'm like, I was a burden to them. I didn't do. I didn't get half of the chance of things that I didn't get a chance to do half the things I wanted to do for them. I didn't, and it's kind of not strange, but I have to live with that every day, because it's like, wow, wow. And I'll never forget one of the conversations, because my mother came to a point to where, like I say, she got off drugs, and she got to a point to where she wants to speak real to me. And one thing she said to me, she said, baby, I'm proud of you. I said, what? She said, I'm proud of you, because I thought you was not gonna make it. Make it? What you mean? See, I thought you weren't gonna make it in prison, because you was a spoiled child. Anything you want, you got. You knew how to get it. See, I'm proud of you. And I'll never forget those words she said to me. Now, she said it over the phone. And but I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I knew my grandmama time was coming. I knew. I knew she was gonna eventually pass away. But I just couldn't face that reality. I kept praying so hard, because I wanted just let her see. But I know she see me. She looking down on me. But I just wanted the chance to let her see. But I knew it was coming. And like I said, last time I talked to my grandmama, she was in a nursing home, and she was like, I can't really talk to you, because, and I told her thanks. And I said, I know I was No, I didn't really do too much. She said you did everything. I never forget her. I never forget her. I will never forget. And I have never, like I say, I never experienced a pain like that with my mother. And that's why I always tell people, man, I'm gonna keep saying it. We need to let this bull go, man. Unnecessary arguments, unnecessary. I know some family, you can't just, because they just wild. But let them know they're never alone, man. Speak to them now and then and say, what's up? You know? And I dedicate this to my mother and my grandmother. And I know it's a lot of pauses in them. Because this is so emotional. When I talk about them and I look back, it straight gets emotional. Because I'm a spiritual person. Katie laugh at me because I'm a crybaby. No, when the spirit comes over me, I'm telling you, it's a wrap. Tears come and everything. But I miss them so much. I wish I had more time with them. But like I say, man, you never, when God calls you home, it's time to go. Okay. Enough sad stuff. I want to get on this subject because I was sitting at home and I was watching YouTube, and they're on, I can't believe it though, they're on Diddy real bad right now. We getting into some news right now. I feel like getting into some news because I don't want to keep talking about this, because the more I talk about my grandma and my mama, I'll probably be sitting here in tears because I forget the stories. I start remembering them stories and I will be sitting here bawling my eyes out, and I don't want to, I'm going to some little news that I want to speak on for real. Everybody's acting like they are shocked. Okay? I'm one of them. I'm kind of like, wow. The thing that shocked me is these are kids that they had kids there. And they don't understand the impact that they had on these kids. They was talking about this guy named Danny. He was a producer for Nickelodeon. And if anybody go back and look at them shows, they showed clips of going back into them shows and the stuff that they had these kids doing in episodes. This is what grown folks would do, and it's like weird. Like, why would you have a? And Tupac told us this. You know, Tupac told us this in his Tupac told us this in an interview. Should I say music? In an interview, he told us, man, look at the music. Listen to the music. It tells you all you need to know. Listen to the music. This is what he told us. And now look at, this is why I can't understand. People still want to commit crimes. Y'all ain't understanding how easy it's getting more and more easier for them to catch you. And why is that? Why is it? I know one reason, because people are telling. Your homeboy told on you, because he don't want to face. Listen, he don't want to face that 50 to life. He gonna tell on you. Well, we already know that. But the thing is so many cameras. So many cameras. Some dudes get blazing and forget about putting a mask on. They run up and over their face showing like they really want to do a bit. Like, going to penitentiary ain't nothing. I don't know about you. I don't want to be in no penitentiary. I don't want to go back through that experience again in my life. I enjoy this. I love this freedom. I love waking up every morning next to mine. I love it. Well, I didn't last night 'cause I passed out on the couch. That's another story. But I love it. I love waking up and go do what I want. I do whatever I want to. You ain't got to tell me when to wake up and go to sleep. And we're not going to talk about all the drama that goes on. Because some dudes are bored. Some dudes are trying to test you, see what you about. It's just craziness. And you want to go through this experience. You dudes don't understand. There's cameras everywhere. And the thing that got me about Diddler and the thing that got me is from him and R. Kelly, y'all want to tape these things of y'all doing this and go back and watch you abuse a child. Like you get off watching abusing a child. That's sick. Now, is the feds gonna find them tapes and all that stuff? We don't know. We gotta stay tuned for that one. Because they still ain't found R. Kelly's tapes. So Diddy, but he know what he facing. Diddy gonna tell him something. Because Diddy's not built for this life. He's probably pretend like he's a gangster, but I'm telling you flat out, he ain't built for this life. He's not built for this life. And when I say this life, that penitentiary life, he's not built. Why do you think Jay-Z ran? Jay-Z know. It's like I always tell you, this Jewel. People see things in you don't even see in yourself. Jay-Z knew. That's why Jay-Z tried to bag up. Nah, man, you gonna try to bag up on me? I got something for you. But he knew he was gonna do it anyway. That's the same thing with R. Kelly. R. Kelly finna jump in the arena too. And that's another thing gonna shock a lot of people. R. Kelly will be free. R. Kelly's getting free. Well, how you say that? Watch what he do. He gonna testify on Jay. He gonna testify on Jay. And the thing is, by them going after Diddy, this is finna open up a whole can of worms. And a lot of people, and my fiance say it started with Keefy D. Yeah, it did. But Cat Williams took it to a whole nother level. Cat Williams opened up a can of worms these worms cannot go back in. You cannot close this lid, twist it on there, and try to push it out the way. Because I'm telling you, mark my words, it's going to be a lot of people going down for this. A lot more. Stay tuned. And like I say, every time I turn around, they're talking about Diddy did Diddy this, Diddy that, the Diddler. One dude called him the Diddler. I say, what the heck? And we're not gonna say what he called Usher the Gusher. We're not gonna. Oh, that blew my mind. And Meek, was it Cheek Mills? This dude just straight went in on him. But just trip off of it. Because I was sitting there watching some of them, the one he did with Kevin Hart. He had a little party going on for his album release party. And this man straight up literally told you he woke up with a 10-year-old child and wrestled over some frosted flakes. See, in the streets, mug don't even know what he said. Frosted flakes. Trip off of frosted flakes. He's giving his child drugs and everything else. Yeah, maybe accusations. We're going to say yeah. But yeah. That man literally. But like I say, in the 90s, you didn't have cameras. You got cameras today everywhere. And the thing is, we're in the information age. You can go on. I can go on my phone. I can go on this phone right now. Find out anything I want to find out. We're living in an information age. That's why this stuff is getting so rapidly coming to us, because it's here now. You can't hide it no more. This is like Cat Williams say. This is a year of truth. Things that you thought about your good little celebrities, you finna find out some things that's gonna blow your mind. Because remember, you had all these big top celebrities. See what happened to T.D. Jakes. All these top celebrities was in there with Diddy. So what was going on? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it's finna open. That's why I say get prepared, because you ain't seen nothing yet. We just started. As he say, can't stop, won't stop. Get it? Or what the thing? What was the one song? No problem, no more money, more problems. What do you say? I'm coming out. Listen to the music. Pac told us that, man. I mean, we gonna get on the subject of. Now the news is they steady trying to bring him down for that, and they saying Pac probably had bodied up. Pac set up all this so he can get the heck out of Dodge. Now, in my opinion, did he do that? It's in the music. Yes, he did. He told you this. It's in the music. Why is nobody? It's like it's not even in the music. You can look at these old videos. Go, if they on here, you will see this. It don't shock me, but we should learn from it. Like we learned from Suge Knight. You get a multi-billion-dollar company. How can the streets mix with business? You cannot mix street with business. People, you cannot put the streets into business. It's not gonna work. Because we know how street dudes operate. They wild, crazy, and they just want to act a fool. They gonna bring your business down like they did Suge. You cannot have street dudes, gangbangers, involved in business. That's a jewel. You cannot. It's not gonna work. Trust me. Family, it's not gonna work. And yes, Pac sitting back laughing at these dudes because he already exposed them and let it be known. And I'm not gonna speak on the powers that be. But I'm gonna say is this: did he piss somebody off? And they're firing shots. And they're just not firing shots at him. Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry. They're taking shots. They just want to see which one is going to hit their target. It was no coincidence, because all of us knew about, like I say, R. Kelly. Everybody knew about R. Kelly, what he was doing and what he's have been doing. From Aaliyah on down, we knew. But we love the art. When I say the art, the music, we love that music. R. Kelly was steady putting out hits. And they was loving it too, taking up for him. If you, how in the heck could you get away with it? Say, oh, that's not me on that tape. That's my. Bro, nobody could be looking. Have anybody seen R. Kelly brother? They don't look nothing alike. They saying it's another one of his brothers or something that look like him. I ain't never seen this. Where did this brother mysteriously come from? That goes into it too. Once you ain't making them no more money, you become a liability. So we got to get rid of you. Michael Jackson, Prince. And And I didn't even know Michael Jackson. He was so much of a slick dude. They thought he was an old country bumpkin. Thought he was gonna be. They thought they was gonna get over on Michael. He was some old ghetto child that didn't have no. But you got to think about it. Let's stop and think about this just for a second. If anybody go back to Paul McCartney was trying to buy back his masters from the record company. Paul McCartney was trying to buy him back. And that's why he was on the track with Michael Jackson that Say. He did another song on Thriller. The Doggone Girl Is Mine. That's the name of the song. The Girl Is Mine. But as they, Michael and Paul McCartney sitting there having a conversation. And Paul McCartney, Paul was like, yeah, man, I get this money. I could get my masters back and get my real money. Michael say, oh, yeah? He's like, yeah. And he broke down the game to Michael. And Michael like, oh, I could have been doing that all along. I got the money. See, people sit over and say Mike was going broke. Mike wasn't going broke because why? Michael he turned around and crossed his partner out. Paul McCartney bought the Beatles catalog. We don't know how much that's worth. He started buying up all these catalogs of masters. And even if Michael even came to a point to where it's like, Mike was so intelligent. Y'all thought Mike was talking like, oh, I just love. No, Mike was more smarter than most of these people I heard. Most smarter than, well, I should say they think he was. Because what'd he do? He went and got a contract from Sony, came out with one album. Then he turned around and said, they told him, well, you owe us one more album. Then he turned around, got a bonus of what? He owned it half of Sony. See? And Michael got on there and started laughing about it. But see, you know what they did to Michael? You gonna laugh at us? Like, you really got over? We get you. And that's another thing. They know your darkest secrets. Things that stay hidden. Like Diddy. You think they don't know? They know. They probably got some tapes too. Watch that come out. More likely they do. More likely they do. That's why I say, and even Prince started figuring out a way how to make his music the way he wanted to make his music and get paid for it. And he started talking about how the industry was. What happened to him? Some painkillers that he taking, they done laced these mothers with some fentanyl and killed them. Look at these things. Just look. The evidence been in front of our face all along. Yeah. Diddy's going down. I'm sorry, but Diddy's a through piece. Jay-Z, a lot of these people. And just like I said, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till y'all see what's next. This is just the beginning. Because y'all forgot, people was attending those parties. They was attending those parties. And as I sit back and I look at it, I wonder. And I wonder. Now, enough about Diddy and all them. Before I leave y'all, I want to say, happy Mother's Month to all my mothers, to all my grandmothers. This is y'all month. Mother's Day. Y'all got a day, but this is y'all month. I'm celebrating the heroes. And that's our grandmothers and our mothers. That's why I got the pink on. My grandmama died. I didn't say that in here, forgive me, but my grandmother died of cancer. So that's why I got the pink on, not for Easter. This is representing for my grandmother. I don't like wearing pink. I'm letting you know that. I do not like wearing pink at all. This is for my grandmother. I'm representing. And mama. And my mother. She will be sorely missed. I'll never forget you. Somebody's a hero in your life, your mother or something. Go give her a hug, man. Let her know she's loved. Let grandmama know. Go cook some of that fire food, granny. No. But let them know they love, man. Let go of these petty arguments, man, because we never know what's going to happen, man. And even in death, man, life comes. Even death. When death comes, life comes. I've seen it firsthand. That's why I say, man, we need to let go of all this pettiness in families. It's time. And it's time too, man. They say we understand. We look through it, what they've been doing. Now, it's up to us to change this narrative and do something different than what we was taught. We know what our peoples was, kings and queens. We need to start acting like it. When I say act like it, educate our kids, teach them. See, education is a thing of helping you to understand. So nobody won't get over on you. They try to give you this piece of paper, but no. Education is deeper than that. That helps you to understand and comprehend as you grow. Their tricks and the things they be up to. So you can see them. And like I say, we see them now. What's the move? My move is start up this keep pushing ENT. And I already got this no fake. We just started. We just getting started. We just getting started. Now, there's a lot of people, real quick I want to say, that I have a lot of love for. And I want to say before I leave, I love all y'all. Y'all know who y'all are. I'm not finna mention all these names. Sorry, you can get mad at me all you want to. I'm not finna mention all these names. But I want to end this with a song that I wrote for my grandmother and my mother. Let me find it in here. Where did I put it at? Oh, here we go. Like I said, now we're getting informed. What's the next move? And like I told you, for me, stay tuned. God ain't done with me yet. It's just a start. Watch Yahweh. And I always end with, like I'm on Facebook or whatever with my family in there, man. Let God and not man. How do I get through the pain, knowing you're gone and I can't see you again? Tears fall down my face, just like rain. All this motherfucking pain. Damn, man, what am I gonna do now without you? I don't even know how I'ma make it without you.
trying my best to make it without you, but it's hard to, cause every time I turn around I see your face. It's crazy how spirits haunt you. Still can't believe that you hunt me, but I'm glad you are, cause you my angel, and I can see that I truly got an angel. I can't never go back to what it used to be. All I can say is I love thee, and I always got thee, always holding on to the memories of thee, and I will never let them go. Do you feel me? Damn, I miss you, Granny. What can I do without you? You're gone away from me. So much pain I feel, wishing I can go back in time to let you know what you mean to me. Change so many things. Oh, thank you, mama, for the many nights, for the bottle, helping me motherfucking run our throttle. I can't even believe that I came home and you was gone. So many tears fell down my face, couldn't get myself back up and get in place. You helped me to get myself back in place. You grabbed me by my motherfucking arm, told me it was cool, don't worry baby, no harm, no foul, just trying to make it through this wild shit that I done been through. Somebody help me. What am I gonna do without you by my side? I miss you so much. I don't know what to do without you. I miss you, mama. Miss you, granny. Miss you, Uncle Cedric. I just don't know what I would do without y'all. Oh, my brother Mark, bro, I love you, man. What am I do without y'all, man?
Boy Myron, aka Gusto. 1.